Okay, allow me to talk to you as a big sister, especially if you're aged anything between 16 and 25. We're going to talk all things sex, right? You know, the funniest thing I remember when I was your age is growing up in a space where we would ask each other questions like, how far do you go? How far do you go before it starts to be sin? You know, I'm talking about sex, right? People would talk about different bases like, oh, yeah, we just go first base or whatever. I don't know what the lingo is nowadays. I mean, but that's how it used to be back in my day. And, you know, we would all, because we loved God, we would all be wanting and desiring to do the right thing because we knew the right thing was to not have sex outside of marriage. But the hormones and the body changes that you go through between those ages. You know, I would even add 13-year-olds because I guess TikTok is open to 13-year-olds, right? So the changes that your body is going through can sometimes make it very difficult for you because sexual development actually begins from when we are kids. All right. So you imagine your body and your hormones are preparing for a gift that God has given for marriage, yet you're not yet in marriage. It takes a lot to steward that. And I just wanted to encourage you because, you know, just remembering the story of Lot in the Bible, who what happened to him was he was a righteous man. He loved God. We know that because when Abram was talking to God to say, would you save Sodom if there was 5 righteous people? He was referring to also Lot in that 5, right? Which shows us that Lot was a righteous guy. Yet, when you go back before Abram was now talking to God about his nephew Lot, what had happened was when Abram and Lot needed to separate, Lot was the first one to choose. And he chose what looked good to the eye. And you know where he settled? He settled, the Bible says, on the plains of Sodom. He wasn't in Sodom, right? He was on the outskirts of Sodom. He's like most of us Christians who say things like, oh, you know what, I'll only just go this far. I will not really tip over into that. You know, me and my boyfriend are just gonna dry hump. Me and my boyfriend are just gonna make out, you know, like all this, we're gonna just touch or whatever, but we're not going to have sex. That is the same thing that is like Lot, where Lot was like, I'm just going to go on the plains of Sodom, but I'm not going to be in Sodom. Yet we know that when he was rescued, he was found in the center of Sodom. So, my friend, especially while you're in a stage where your body is developing, never lie to yourself and think you can be near Sodom and not be in Sodom. The best way for a young person to stay pure is to be in a space where, you know what, even things that don't look wrong, you might say, oh, there's nothing wrong with me like long hugging my boyfriend or us kissing, you know, we're not having sex. The Bible doesn't say anything about kissing. The Bible also says, listen, not everything is wrong, but not everything is beneficial. There are things that you have to realize that when you're at this stage where your body speaks the way it does, the further you are from Sodom, the better you are. And having come from somebody who's done this, I can tell you the truth. The truth is this: there is so much protection that comes from staying and doing things God's way. Many of us have delayed our destinies for good things because of the decisions that we made, right? I'm not in any way saying that God is a God who holds out things that are good from us. No, but some behaviors, some actions have consequences that whether you love God or not, the consequences of those actions still stand. So next time you think, how far can I go? I want you to think of what I'm saying. I want you to think about Lot and what happened to him. Maybe you're not in the 18 to 20 category. Maybe you're married. Most people don't start off affairs because they want to have affairs. It starts off with a little bit of, oh, we're just talking. This is just my work wife. This is just my work husband. We're just having conversations. And then you start to open up. You start to, talk more. And it's in that you end up in a full-blown affair. It's always the small foxes. It's always the small fires that ruin the whole vineyard. So be warned. Never ask yourself, how far can you go? Ask yourself, I need to walk in holiness. Am I where I need to be to facilitate that walk? So just a little big sister moment.